Hello everyone! Welcome to Digimon Development. My name is JC and this is my Black LordKnightmon deck profile for the Special Booster 2.0 format. The deck list, as always, is in the description in order of appearance if you want to plug it into a sim to try before you buy. I've already done a yellow LordKnightmon deck list, which you can go check out after the video is over. It's one of my favorite deck lists so far, but this is Black LordKnightmon, which has a similar spammy game plan, but collision, DIGI-LOV, and buffing your nightly board is the name of the game, instead of board-wide and focused DP negging. Though there is a wee bit of DP negging thanks to a certain shared card between the two decks. I will tell you up front, this is not a DarkKnightmon list with Lord Knight stapled to the top end. This is a proper Knightmon deck. There are a few Dark Knight cards in here, but that's because they're generically good while having Knightmon in text, which is ultimately what matters here. The original Knightmon is one of my favorite Digimon. I love their big blue soulful eyes and the chivalrous living armor aesthetic, so that's what I wanted to focus on. I will say, if you want a more competitive list featuring Lord Knight, there's a couple of purple-based variants running around that will probably get you a lot further competitively speaking. It runs the Dark Animal engine and a bunch of purple good stuff, but Knightmon isn't in it. So really, what's the point? And I wanted to use LordKnightmon Ace, which really shines in the Black Knight decks and not at all in the purple ones. If you can get the ball rolling, you can night spam and confuse your opponent's game plan by giving everything collision. So, to facilitate our collision and blocking game plan, our 4 of egg is BT16 Dorimon. The inherited effect, all turns, once per turn, when another Digimon with blocker is deleted, gain 1 memory. This was made for BT16 Gorimon, which was the first deck based around collision, but they didn't really want to run this guy because they wanted more draw power from BT7 Dorimon. But we will adopt this little dude into the Knightmon family readily. He helps us get memory on both players' turns whenever a blocker dies, usually when collision is involved. Alright, we can stack the memory gain with our first level 3's inheritable starter deck 15 Agumon, which we are running at 4. He is 3 to play, 0 to evolve on black, and is 1 KDP. Main effect, start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. And then all turns, once per turn, on the inheritable, when an attack target is switched, gain a memory. And getting extra memory is very important for this deck, and stealing memory and potentially turns can win you games you would have lost otherwise. This Agumon is too good not to run here, even if he doesn't have Knightmon in text. Our next level 3 does have Knightmon in text, and it is the BT18 Kotemon, which we are also running at 4. He is 3 to play, 0 to evolve on black, and 1 KDP. Main effect, on play, by trashing 1 card with Knightmon and its text in your hand, draw 2. Inherited effect, all turns this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. It's always good to have at least one in Archetype level 3 that plays for 3 and draws, and this one's great. We want to get at least one level 5 or lower Knightmon and trash early, just in case Fists of Athena is hitting security, and nothing is really wasted if we can play the trash Digimon back out again later. The inheritable is solid for when we get up into LordKnightmon Ace as well. Bigger is better, especially on all turns. Our last level 3 is somewhat of a gimme spot. I'm running the new Memory Floodgate Zenimon at 3. It's 3 to play, 0 to evolve on black, 2 KDP. Main effect, all turns, your opponent can't gain memory other than by Tamer effects. But you could run BT10 Maildramon here if you want even more search power, or slot in a Floodgate Chikurimon or 2 if you fear DeathX. I opted to run full Zeni because the kinds of decks that print memory right now are mini and can really run this deck over, and tossing out a coin or 2 early can derail their train or at least slow them down enough for you to catch up. Plus, DeathX isn't being run all that much right now for some reason, though that could always change. And that's it. We're playing 11 level 3s. On to our first level 4, we are running 4 BT7 SkullKnightmon. He's 4 to play, 2 to evolve on black, and 3 KDP. Main effect, when attacking, by placing one of your DeadlyAxemon at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a DarkKnightmon in your hand without paying its memory cost. The inherited effect, your turn, while this Digimon has Knightmon/Bogramon in its name, it gains security attack +1. You'll probably never do the main effect. There's edge cases where the stars align and it would be advantageous to evolve into a DarkKnightmon for free by using a Deadly Axe already on the board, but we're really running this guy because it's our original starter deck Greymon, basically. It's going to give all of our knights security attack +1, which is everything level 5 and up, but the token DeathX, which we almost never evolve into anyway. Our next two level 4s are our Knights Noble Steeds. The first one, at 4, is BT7 DeadlyAxemon. He is 4 to play, 2 to evolve on black, and 3 KDP. Main effect, on play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 2 cards with Knightmon and their name among them to your hand, and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Inherit effect, your turn, while this Digimon has Knightmon/Bogremon in its name, it gets plus 2000 DP. This is a very talented sharp horse, and it fills in for a couple of needs at once. Like the Skull Knight, he's a Digicross material for the couple of Dark Knights we are running. He's only 2 to evolve on a level 3, which, by the way, is oddly difficult to find as a quality and archetype right now. He's a 4 to play Searcher that digs 5 deep and will grab 2 Knightmons in name. So the majority of your Digimon, though none of your level 3s or your other steeds or the DeathX. His inheritable is also decent, so though it's only on your turn, it's at least maxed out on your turn. Our other steed is the newest one, and though we're only running them at 2, they are not to be underestimated. It is the promo Maildramon. He is 4 to play, 2 to evolve on black, and 4 KDP. Main effect, all turns, when another of your Digimon with Knightmon in its text would leave the battle area by an opponent's effect, by placing this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, it doesn't leave. And the inherited effect is blocker. I was running the Gladymon from BT18 for a little bit instead, but for the extra DP on all turns and the inheritable, which is alright. It's the same as the Kotemons. Its protection effect was weak, and it was 5 to play instead of 4 like all the others I've shown you so far. But I went to a tournament recently, and these were in the prize packs, and I was like, oh, cool. I knew this was coming out soon, but I wasn't expecting it yet. I wasn't anticipating needing it. I thought it was as lackluster as the Gladymon and fairly interchangeable. Like, Maildramon's inheritable in this deck is pretty... as a good chunk of the knights already have blocker, or effectively have blocker, or they're always going to be sideways because they want to be attacking every chance they get. But, if you can get this guy out, or cheat it out of your aces... you needn't be so afraid of security bombs, or removal, or some other enemy ace effects. Hit a deletion or removal effect, just jump on the horse and fly away to fight another day. And since Lord Knight Ace can dig it out of the trash on Digivolve, you can recycle it should it die. Inheritable could be blank for all I care. It's a good horse, run the horse. That is 10 level 4s and on to the level 5s, which we are running 9 because we would rather have an extra for consistency. The first one is the BT18 at 4. It is 8 to play, 3 to evolve on black, and 7 KDP. Main effect, blocker, and then end of opponent's turn. Once per turn, you may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent must attack with the chosen Digimon. And then the inherited effect is all turns, all of your Digimon and Knightmon in their text get plus 2000 DP. I've seen some people dumping on this card, mostly for the end of opponent's turn effect, which is pretty whatever. It's true. You can't depend on it very much. But we can't all be EX5 Etamon, and the taunt isn't really why you run this guy maxed out anyway. We run it because it has blocker, it evolves for 3, and its inheritable is amazingly good for this build. It's not just plus 2k for your stack, but for all your knights in text, which can get pretty crazy if you can swarm the board. If you're sad about the taunt, we have another card for that, but let's move on to our next knight. The promo Knightmon makes a return from the Yellow Warrior Army, and we're running it at 3. It is 7 to play, 4 to evolve on yellow and black, 7 KDP. Main effect, blocker, on play. When Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3 KDP for the turn for each of your Digimon. And then all turns once per turn, when another Digimon attacks, you may play one black or yellow level 3 Digimon from your hand without paying the cost. It has blocker, it DP negs when Digivolving and on play. It only costs 7 to drop, which could be worth it. Depending on the board state, it can play little dudes from your hand when in the stack, whenever another Digimon swings on all turns. The only annoying thing about it is the 4 EO cost. but really you want to be cheating him out with the ace anyway. It can shrink a larger attacker down into Lord Knight Ace collision range, doing at least minus 6k when it comes down in that scenario. Our last level 5 is the DarkKnightmon from BT19 at 2. 8 to play, 4 to evolve on black and purple, Digicross -2 with SkullKnightmon and DeadlyAxemon, 8k DP. Card, main effect, it's got material save, and then on play when Digivolving, Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Then if Digicrossing with 2 cards, you may delete 1 play cost level 3 or lower Digimon or Tamer. On deletion, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Knightmon and its text from under your Tamers without paying the cost. Inherited effect, on deletion, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Knightmon and its text from your trash without paying the cost. You do have the ability to Digicross with this guy for a play cost of 4 or for free off the ace, to Digivolve something and snipe a floodgate. But even just playing it alone off a Lord Knight ace and Digivolving 1 can stop an attacker in their tracks. It could also float potentially, though in this deck the inheritable is a lot more solid when it comes to floating. Now it's time for the level 6s. Surprise! It's LordKnightmon Ace. From BT18, 7 to play, 4 to evolve, on purple and black, 12k DP. Main effect, hands, counter, blast Digivolve. When Digivolving, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with Knightmon and its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then all turns, all Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon gain collision. Inherited effect, Ace Overflow -4. We're running this at 4 because we want to set up a scenario where we go into this card, perhaps even on our turn, play a level 5, and have another ace in our hand ready to go that can drop yet another knight. We're wanting to build up a long, tall wall of knights that the opponent has problems dealing with. Giving everything smaller than the ace on the board collision is a unique trait that can throw some decks off, and this is where the BT18 Knightmon Inheritable comes in, ensuring that you'll have a big wall ready to go on the attack and clear the opponent's board on your turn. It's a little sad that the ace doesn't have an on play, but after thinking it over, if the win Digivolving was the same as the on play like most other aces, this thing would be absolutely busted. They definitely have to bump up the play cost at any rate. But as fun as the ace is, there will be times when you want to be extra aggressive or a different kind of disruptive, which is why we're also running 3 LordKnightmon X for BT19. It is 12 to play, 4 to evolve on purple and black, 1 to evolve on LordKnightmon, and 12k DP. Main effect, collision, piercing, and when Digivolving, for each of your Digimon, you Digivolve 1. One of your opponent's Digimon, then, until the end of their turn, one of their Digimon can't Digivolve. All turns, while LordKnightmon / X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your Digimon with Knightmon in text gain Alliance and get plus 3k DP. It's just good. There's not much I can say about it other than it's really good. For reasons many others have already said. Giving all your knights even more number and alliance is not something the purple version can really take advantage of, and it means your alliance swings can get crazy stupid big when suspending one of your normally smaller knight and text weenies. It doesn't always feel good to evolve it on the ace because you want to keep collision all on, but we do have a way to skip straight up into LordKnightmon X as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. And the last Digimon, and the only level 7, is the one DeathXmon. 20 to play, 6 to evolve on purple and black, 15k DP. Main effect, when you would play this card, reduce its memory cost by 3 for each Digimon and Tamer your opponent has in play. Then on play when Digivolving, Digivolve 1 on all of your opponent's Digimon. Then delete all of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. End of opponent's turn. Once per turn, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. It's DeathX. It's here to do DeathX things. If someone tries to outswarm you before you can really get going, you can use this guy to try to retake command of the situation. And he's in our colors, so he's somewhat searchable. Now on to the Tamer. We are running 3 starter deck. Tai Kamiya from starter deck 15. He's 4 to play. Start of your turn. If you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3, and then all turns when an attack target is switched by suspending this Tamer. draw 1. And one of your Digimon gets plus 2 KDP for the turn. The inherited effect is to play the card without paying the cost. This is another piece of your draw engine and another way to get more DP during a block, offensively or defensively. But getting a memory setter down early is also pretty important. Several of your big nerds cost 4 to go into. Now finally the options. We're running 4 black memory boosts. Cost 3, main effect, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 black Digimon card among them to the hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, then place this card in your battle area. Main, delay, gain 2 memory. Security effect is to play it in the battle area. Once again, memory boosts over trainings because we want to dig deep and find missing pieces, and banking memory lets us do on plays and evolve and raising more efficiently, plus the main cards we want to grab are Digimon anyway. Then the next option card is an archetype, since it has Knightmon in text. And it is our dedicated taunt card, Fist of Athena, and we're running it at 3. Cost 3. Main effect. While you have a Digimon with Knightmon in its text, you may ignore this card's color requirements. Main. One of your opponent's Digimon gets start of your main phase. This Digimon attacks until the end of their turn. Then place this card in the battle area. And then all turns, when an attack target is switched, delay. One of your Digimon gains piercing and security attack plus 1. The security effect is you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon with Knightmon in its text from your trash without paying the cost. Then place this card in the battle area. So this card is a cheap taunt, which we want to enable our ace plays, although it's not as cheap as Laplace's Demon, which is at 1. Though it has other things going for it. It lets you be more aggressive on following turns with extra security attack and piercing, which the ace and the other knights lack naturally. It also has a great security effect to play a level 5 or lower knight in text from the trash. So make sure you get one in there early just in case. Take it from me, it feels really bad when this is the first card hit and you just couldn't get anybody in the trash. But at least the card will still go to the delay area, so it's not a complete fail fizzle if that happens. Now our last 2 cards of the deck always feel good when they're hit in security. It is 2 copies of BT9 X Antibody. Cost 0. Main effect. While you have a Digimon in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. Security. Gain 1 memory, and add this card to the owner's hand. Main. Place this card under one of your Digimon without X Antibody and its Digivolution cards as its body Digivolution card. Security effect. All turns. Effects can't trash X Antibody and this Digimon's Digivolution cards. When attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with the X Antibody trait in your hand by paying its Digivolution cost. We're running this primarily to let us skip from our level 5s up into a Lord Knight X on a swing for the full 4 cost, possibly passing turn as both an offensive and defensive move. But it also messes with source strip decks a little, since it can't be stripped and it can be tucked whenever. Plus we're running 2 of them because Oliver searches bottom deck them, and it would be nice to see at least 1 in a game. Plus it ups the chance they'll be in security and mess up an opponent's turn. Black never got Jack Raid or Hammer Spark or anything like that, so we must make do. So, to wrap things up, my advice for playing this deck is that the best defense is a good offense. Don't worry about the ace overflow, it already paid for itself. Amass your forces and take the field. And DeathX is not real and cannot hurt you. Alright, that's it for my Black LordKnightmon deck profile. If you have any questions, ask away in the comments below. Follow me on Blue Sky at Digimon Development at bsky.social, where you can watch me complain about cards taking forever to come in the mail, as well as get progress updates. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.